to get rid of your water pressure. And we pay for all that. So that's a real big plus for the south end. I think, you know, you don't have a lot of growth down here. You lose a lot of business in the south end. You gotta have rooftops. People have to be able to spend money or they can't stay open, the businesses. So in that area. And you know, we don't know what the traffic situation is, but we're gonna see it. Because the first thing I'm gonna do is order a traffic study. And that's gonna show what impact this is gonna have there. I'm not sure what it is, but whatever it is, if we're gonna build a subdivision, we have to pay for it. So we're paying all the inspections, all the permits, all the traffic lights, all whatever goes in. You don't pay anything. You get money. So you're gonna get the tap fees, you're gonna get the bills for the people, you're gonna get the real estate tax, you're gonna get all the taxes for the city, you're gonna also bring people into an area that needs people. You know, those businesses are deteriorating down there. That's gonna uplift that whole city. You have the north end, beautiful. But if you don't bring houses up north, you're gonna have the same problem. If you don't have rooftops, you don't have people. You don't have business. You have to have people. And you need to survive because you need taxes. And you got a high mill levy. You can't really be raising your mill levy on these people. You know, you got a high tax as it is. So hopefully, and my concern with this is really, I don't want to build here if you guys aren't for it. I mean, if you're not for it, I'm going to pass. Okay, so if you guys aren't into the development and you don't want it here, you know, I've risked $70,000 of my money, I'll walk. If you're with me, then we can work together as a team. We'll figure this out. We'll lay out what makes sense. To everybody, I'm going to bring in a national builder. They're going to take down 50 homes every 6 months, or I'm not going to sell to them. So, and they're going to be there no matter what. They were to survive 2007, 2008, all these guys. Okay, that was the worst I've ever seen. But they'll do their own mortgages if they have to. That's how big they are. So, like if I put in 350 houses, it's going to take 7 6-month cycles. Now, I'm not selling it to anybody that's not going to do that. Period. So, you know, I already have deals with them. They take them down. If they don't sell them, that's their problem. They're paying me. Okay, so, and they're going to build them now. If it takes longer, well, it takes longer. That's on them. But they have the money. And ultimately, they're paying for everything. Because I'm paying you, and I'm putting it in, but they're paying me. So, ultimately, when I'm developing it, I'm developing for them. I already know I'm developing. I'm doing one right now for D.R. Horton, 195 lots, and I'm developing for them. As a matter of fact, just to tell you, they give me the money to develop. So that helps me and helps you. So they already have a big risk. Before, when I go to sell it to them, they're putting up, so they're going to give me 10% of the entire project price up front. And I don't have to pay interest on it. So I could use that to develop it with. So it's a pretty well win-win for us. They want to build a house, and your town is, I will tell you this right now, you got a beautiful town. I've been doing this for 3 years. I don't know if you guys know this or not. But I was 2 years getting into planning to even have this, to be at this point. And it's been another year since. You guys are real slow to get something done. But that's how much I think of your town. This is a very, very, this town needs housing. Needs housing badly. I mean, you go buy a place around here, prices are stupid. Lake City all over, it's very high price. You have people that can't work here because they can't afford to live here. And if you don't build and you don't grow, you're going to be a Perry, a Jasper, you're going to be gone. You know, you're not big enough to just sustain at where you are. You got to have money to run the city. And you guys are trying to improve the city. And I'm going to give you a lot of money to improve the city. So you're not paying anything. No city pays any cost. So that's just that. You're going to be a developer today, you got to pay that. And you want somebody, and this is just shoot my own horn a little bit, I'm used to doing big developments. I already know who the people I'm going to go with, I already have the people that trust me, I already know that I already have my crews, and Mr. Music here is going to, you know, he's a local, he does all the work. He's going to do my work. So he's going to put the roads in, that's going to all be local. And everybody that comes to build these houses, if the Horton comes in here, they're not bringing in crews, there's nowhere for them to live. They're going to have to hire local people. You know, they're going to have to do this. Everybody goes, well, we don't have enough of that. You will have when you bring this kind of money into town. People will figure out a way to figure out to take care of it. And you guys will figure out a way. It should be you guys. You got to step in here. You guys know everybody. Who's better than you to take the money? They can't bring them in. There's nowhere to stay. They can't afford to put these people up. You know, they got to have good, solid workers. I bet you have them here. And then you bring in all these people and families, and they buy cars. They do your shopping. They go everywhere. You know, you have an internet world right now. They may not even have to go drive to work. They may be working in New York and living in Live Oak. A lot of that's going on. So, you know, you may not have those trips that you think you have on the roads. Now, the school, I would hope that we would go back to somebody riding a bike or walking to school. I mean, we're that close to all these schools. I used to walk, 2 miles. I know that's the old days, but, or ride a bike. And I think Live Oak's safe enough that you could do that. You got a safe city here. You don't have to worry about kids getting kidnapped or something. But, I was talking with Ms. Williams here, and it was a very good conversation, by the way. And, she has concerns in her district where they don't have roads, they don't have water, they don't have sewer, they don't have sidewalks. You guys need to take care of that. You can't have a city that has like that. I didn't even know you had that. But our money for these developments can pay that and improve the whole city. So I would hope that you guys go with me. I really will tell you this. I love the city. I've been here 3 years at this deal. I've got my own money invested. I'm putting on my own cash. And if you guys work with me, we will have a great subdivision. We'll have everything will work well. I'm not trying to force anything on anything. And everything will be up front. And we'll have all the studies permitted, inspected, done, licensed contractors properly. I have to. I'm selling it to a national builder. They will sue me. You understand? So the product that I give them has to be first class. And that's why they're doing it, because they know I do that. Do you guys have any questions?
One question.
One.
I know we talked 2 a.m. in the morning.
I know we did.
We talked 2 a.m. in the morning.
But I'd taken a nap before that, remember that? So.
Yeah, I remember you were just getting back.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning we were talking. And just like I told you earlier, if I can get this in writing, my district will be taken care of, you have my vote, but I have to get it in writing.
Well, that's between you guys.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
I wanted it on record that this is what.
Well, we discussed that. She has a lot of issues, and that she told me about that, quite frankly, I had no idea existed in this city. Okay, and shouldn't exist in the city in 2024. And the money that we bring in here, I mean, you need to correct that. But I think that Mr. Sessions was telling me that he was going to put up an ordinance that all the revenue will be split from residential housing between all districts. Even. And I think that's a fair way to do it. Now, if you need maybe some extra money, then you need to talk to them. Maybe somebody doesn't need as much as you. You guys can work that out. But that's not. I don't really have a dog in that. I'm just trying to do my subdivision and correct the problems that I can help, which is you need to loop your water and sewer. Once you loop that water and sewer, you don't have groundwater, you have water pressure at all your houses. That's a big deal. And I'm paying for it, not you.
We have a question for you. You were telling me over. We were talking about the houses that were going to be built there. And previously, in our conversation, we were talking about townhouses or duplexes. So there's no townhouses, there's no duplexes going to be there. They're all going to be single-family homes.
Now, they're going to be smaller lots, to be fair with you, okay?
Smaller lots.
Because I can't do big lots and bring it. You guys need to be in the 250 to 300 max range. So, in my opinion. And I'm sure that's what they're going to want. But I may say that, and we may find out that the market's bigger than that. We may find out we're selling $500,000 houses. We're going to adjust to that. We're going to do phases of 50 homes at a time. So we're going to do 50 lots, they're going to take those down, we're going to do another 50. Now, if we find that the market's better than what we think, and it's bigger, they're going to sell bigger homes.
One last question, the last question I thought we talked about was that what happens if these houses aren't selling? Are you going to pull out?
No. A major builder can't pull out.
We talked about
Yeah, when D.R. Horton was building when 2007, 2008. Richmond Homes was building when 2007, 2008. Lennar Builders was building. They're still here today. What they do is they finance their own homes. I mean, it's subdivisions in their name. It's not in my name. It's a D.R. Horton subdivision. They can't close it down. Well, they did. I mean, I guess they could, but that's going to ruin their reputation. I mean, they're the largest home builder in the country. I like selling to them. I think they do a great job, and personally, I've done this. Going to be my third deal with them, and they've done everything like this.
You did tell me Mr. Music is going to be a partnership with
He is.
this particular.
He is. Well, we haven't worked out all the details, but let's put it. We got a handshake deal, and probably that's better than a contract with the two of us.
Other questions? No? Do we want to bring up
Yes.
Mr. Driggers again? or-
Yes, and then we have the county, we have the chairman land and Commissioner Perkins is here, and then Greg Scott. I didn't know if they had any questions for Mr. Driggers. Yeah,
Mr. Driggers.
they had
yeah.
focused on the
The county.
transportation and traffic issues.
Is there anybody from the county that would like to speak there, has a question? Mr. Scott?
Brad Scott, 14160 76th Street, Lubbock, Florida. I think the developer said it all. As far as our concerns would be is making sure that, one, we have a chance to look at the site plan, make sure it meets our guidelines, make sure that any adverse effect it has on our facilities, he's taking care of it. The traffic flow and traffic conditions, if he's going to take care of all that. I don't speak for a commission, I don't get to vote, but obviously we will make sure that there's no impact or minimal impact to our facilities, the roads. I know that flow's an important piece. I know that once we see a plan, we'll have a better idea what that's going to look like, but it's hard to say, ask a lot of questions without see what's in front of you. We have a great relationship with DOT. I know that they will, Mr. Driggers and his team works really hard with us, and I have no concerns about that piece of it. And we've heard public record that the developer's going to take care of everything else, so I'm happy. I'll give you another list. So, any questions from me?
One question.
Sure.
You said in the statement that the county concerning the grant, talk about grants to help out with the situation. How long will the grant take for you to, if you were writing a grant to help out?
We've been corrected that we don't have to write any grants, that the developer will take care of all that. That's my expectation.
Okay. It's on the record, just want to make sure.
Right.
If you did mention about the county writing grants.
If we did, it's a process, and it may have to be in the 5-year cycle, DOT, so, but I'm relieved that that's one less grant we got to write.
I have a question.
Sure.
Between the county, the city, and DOT, are there any truck routes in plan?
We are planning on creating some beltways or things in planning. It's going to be way down the road where they would be implemented, but we've got to start planning now. We should have planned a long time ago for more, in all frankness, but there's got to be some planning we do start the next year about that. A lot of people run up 129 to get to north end of town. I like to go take the side of the roads around the outside skirt of town if I can, but Mr. Driggers, works really hard with us. If you've got any specific issues, I know that his team is ready to sit at the table with us. Even downtown, there's been some questions about signalization downtown. I've not ran it by him. It's not my area, so I don't want to get in somebody else's sandbox. But I know that Larry and I is going to start meeting regularly to start working through these processes. But we need some loops. We really have some. We can take Miller to 49 up to out by Lowe's. That takes care of that. We can take the Houston to Bypass Road, set the second trace, go around that way. But some folks are used to a certain way.
Quick question.
Sure.
Is Bass Road is in the county or the city?
It's a county road.
The road between the service station that connects to 129, is that still county?
Yeah,
That's Bass Road. Yeah, that's Bass Road.
That's all Bass Road. Okay. And then the other extension part of Walker, is that in the county or city?
It stops right there after the middle school. It becomes county at that point.
So then, once we annex, then that comes into the city.
Correct.
Down the road?
Not the road, just the property. The property between Walker, Bass, and 129 will all be city property there.
So any development on those two roads would be for the county, or it's still part of the development?
If it's within that property that you're annexing in, that'd be the developer's responsibility to meet our guidelines.
One question, remember?
Sure.
Another roundabout, you know how slow it is, going the roundabout traffic, you're talking about your schools, and if we put another roundabout, how slow the traffic is, I guess that's a DOT issue. But another roundabout where you're going to the main, you have the grocery stores, and you're gonna have traffic over that direction, that's gonna be an issue. If you even talk about another roundabout, because just coming off the Walker to go to Bass, and you have all your schools over there, and then you have your down to Dollar Park area off of 11th Street, and you're talking about your other businesses in that area, and then going back to 129, and that's 90, going back to 90, then that would probably be, you put a roundabout. This my thought. Slow traffic.
Well, remember before we had the roundabout,
Don't I remember?
how bad the traffic was backed up then.
Yeah.
So I think roundabouts would work in the right locations. We need to do probably some roundabout training. How to drive a roundabout.
Very much.
Yes.
You don't have to signal.
Your accelerator is your friend.
Yeah.
They got brakes. That's
You know, roundabouts have been working in Europe since the beginning of time.
Forever.
I mean, right. That's why they, and look at over in Jacksonville, look how many they've actually,
And it's a lot more cost-effective way too.
Yes, they are.
But
On weekdays, school days, church day, you got the church there, and you had special whatever. What's the question? It's good.
yeah, I'll be glad to defer to the commission if they've got something to correct me on.
One coming up now.
Lucky me.
I do the short straw on the chairmanship this year, so. Travis Land, 21,
just state your name for us.
yes, Travis
I'm
Land,
sorry.
Travis Land, 21303, 152nd Street, Live Oak. I don't know Mr. Boucher. Anyway, I think that Mr. Driggers' point to, prior to the permit, I don't know if y'all are gonna do this or not, you know, but the traffic, I see Mr. Hines is here. I think that Mr. Driggers' comment about doing the proactive approach and not the reactive would be the safety approach, which would leave that financial burden on all of us. I try not to think of city, county, I try to think of community. We all live here. We all have kids that go to school here and ride the school buses and whatnot, and I'm pointing at Mr. Hines. I would encourage you guys, if y'all decide to do this, is let's do the proactive approach and bring in FDOT to figure out where that US 129 connector is or isn't, and then that'd be the contingency upon that permit if y'all decide to do this, so that the developer pays that. I mean, we're physically constrained county. I certainly don't want to do the 10-year approach down the road where that burden's on Swanee County or the city, and now we got to go through the grant program, which, as Mr. Drigger says, sometimes that's quick, sometimes that's a 5-year work program. Meanwhile, we're having traffic crashes and fatalities and all kind of crazy stuff. So those roads on the I guess it would be the west side and the south side, those are county roads, Bass Road and the extension of Walker, Mr. Jefferson. So, you know, if there's going to be ingress and egress for this development, then yes, I would encourage y'all to include us in those conversations, because if they're going to come on our roads, then we need to have a discussion about that and see who's responsible. I know he's willing to pay for that, but he needs to know what that is he's going to have to pay for. And then on the state highways, FDOT, and then bring in the schools so they have a little bit of input on where some of those ingress and egresses may be, so that we don't impact what is already a congested area down there off of Walker and middle school. So that's all I would encourage you guys to do, is once, if you do annex it and go to the permitting stage, is, hey, let's bring our whole community to the table. It doesn't have to be a private setting. It can be, it could be somewhat, public setting. It could be private with the school, the county, or whatnot. And let's put this in, don't put the cart in front of the horse and bring the developer to the table too, and let's have a proactive approach versus a safety issue that's reactive, where we're going to have to pick up the tab, or at least part of it. That would be my only words of encouragement, I guess. Thank you. Any questions for me? Good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry, I failed to mention that we've been working with DOT's safety team for the past year, talking about Bass Road and Swanee Valley Electric. We sent a video stuff, and they were very surprised what kind of congestion there is there. So it's even more important that we act now and get the developer on board now with any permitting that's done for him. That's addressed also, because there is with the trucks with poles sticking out the back on a foggy day and those sort of things. We need to make sure we handle that up front with the plan. But that's, we do work with the safety team with DOT already, so they're already aware of that. But it's important we include that in the conversation. That just adds more to that intersection. Thank you.
And you're right, we want to be proactive, and I'm going to tell you why I want to be proactive. I want to know all the costs. So when I go to sell it, I'm going to make the profit that I think I'm going to make. I don't want anything hidden. So if we're proactive up front, we lay it out, and I know all my costs, then I can market it to where I make money and I'm not taking any risk. I don't want risk 5 years from now or 3 years from now, or you guys calling up saying we need this, we need that. I want to know up front. So we're going to lay it out to know up front. So we'll have all the studies we need, we'll get everybody together, we'll figure it out. If I have a cost, I want to know it now. And then I'll build it in, because I'm not ultimately paying. They're going to ultimately pay. So I need to know where I'm at. And I think you guys have a market here. I don't think you realize the market you have here. Really don't. I think you're going to see it. These houses are going to blow out here. And we're probably selling it too cheap to start with. You begin, so you may have bigger lots than you think, and who knows what you have. I think this is, Florida right now is red hot anywhere you are in Florida. And it's not slowing down, because nobody wants snow anymore. And they don't want high taxes anymore for one. They like Florida. So, and you guys are a cute little town. So if you're gonna come retire, or you're gonna come down here and look for a place to live, you got a nice safe little town, looks really cute coming in, It's got a lot of draw. Everybody comes here likes it. I liked it the first time I drove in. Your appearance is very nice. That's why I kept with this thing. But no, I want to know everything up front, so I know what I'm spending. It's going to be my money. So it's going to be ultimately their money, but first it's mine. So, and I have, Mr. Music here, who's been here forever. He knows the development costs. He knows what he's doing. I mean, I couldn't even believe I found him here. That really made this deal. So I want to thank you guys.